Last time I told you I'd take one brand all the way down, the exact box, the exact fuse, start to finish, so you could walk out to your own driveway and do it. So here's Ford. Because of the three, Ford's is the one an ordinary person can actually reach. No security gateway to bypass, no laptop, and no aftermarket software. On most of them, it comes down to 3 plugs and about 20 minutes with a flashlight. I've had my hands on it. The factory calls it the FordPass Connect modem. The owners who've quit trusting it call it the tracker. And I'm going to walk you through the 7 things you need to know before you pull yours, including the last one, number 1, which is a patent Ford filed in its own name, and once you've heard what's in it, you'll understand exactly why the dealer goes quiet when you ask about that box. First, understand what this thing is, because Ford does not exactly put it on the window sticker. It is not your sync screen. It is not your phone connection to the truck. It's a separate piece of hardware about the size of a paperback with its own cellular antenna and its own embedded SIM card wired in at the factory. Ford's name for it is the Telematics Control Unit, the TCU, and the service it runs is FordPass Connect. Its whole job is to listen to the truck's internal network and send what it hears back to Dearborn over a cellular link you can't see and were never once asked to switch on. All right, 7 things, counting down. Number 7, it's been standard since 2019 and it came on before you did. FordPass Connect started rolling out as standard equipment across the lineup around the 2019 and 2020 model years. The F-150, the Escape, the Explorer, damn near all of it. And here's the part that catches people off guard. That modem has a live cellular connection from the moment the truck rolls off the carrier. It does not wait for you to download the FordPass app. It does not wait for a trial to end or a subscription to start. The hardware is already in there, already powered, already checking in. You were sold a connected services feature. What you actually got was an always-on radio installed as a condition of buying the vehicle. A 2024 Consumer Reports investigation put Ford right on the list of automakers pulling driver behavior data off connected cars, alongside Toyota, Honda, and BMW. This is not a rumor off a forum. It's the manufacturer's own hardware doing the manufacturer's own job. Number 6. Deleting the app and switching off data sharing does not shut the modem up. When folks first get uneasy, they do the sensible thing. They open the FordPass app, they dig into the vehicle data and connected services settings, they switch the sharing off, and a lot of them just delete the app entirely and figure that's that. It isn't. Deleting the app deletes the app. It does not touch the modem bolted into the vehicle. That TCU keeps its own cellular connection alive independent of your phone. It can check in with the network on its own schedule, ignition on or off, app or no app. And that SIM inside it isn't the kind you can just slide out with a paperclip the way you would on an old phone. On these newer trucks, it's an embedded SIM, soldered right to the board. There's no little tray to pop, which is exactly why the people who want it stopped don't chase the SIM, they go after the whole module. Turning off data sharing in a menu changes what they promise to do with the data. It does not change whether the box is still transmitting. That is the gap nobody points out to you, and it's the whole reason owners stop fooling with menus and go looking for the hardware instead. Number 5. We know what that data is worth because a competitor got caught selling it. The obvious question with all of this is, so what if it phones home? Who wants it? In March of 2024, a New York Times investigation answered that, and the answer was ugly. General Motors, not Ford, but the same industry, the same kind of box, had been collecting detailed driving behavior off millions of its cars. Not just where you went. Hard braking, fast acceleration, late-night trips, every stretch you took over the limit. Then GM handed it to two data brokers, LexisNexis and Verisk, who packaged it and sold it to the insurance business. One Chevy Bolt owner pulled his own file, and it ran 258 pages, logging 640 separate trips over 6 months. He went looking because his premium had jumped 21%. California came down on GM for $12.75 million, the largest penalty ever handed out under that state's privacy law. And the Federal Trade Commission barred GM from sharing that data for 5 years. And GM wasn't the only one in the trade. A U.S. Senate investigation found Hyundai had handed driving data off 1.7 million cars to Verisk and been paid a little over $1 million for it, about 61 cents a car. 61 cents was the going rate for a year of knowing where a family drives. Another driver in that reporting got turned down by 7 insurers in a row before an agent finally admitted why. His own car had reported on him. Ford runs the same category of hardware, collecting the same category of data. GM is simply the one that got caught with the receipt first. Number 4. Before you cut anything, there's a reversible move, the fuse. If you're leasing, or you just want to test what breaks before you commit, you don't have to touch the module at all. You can pull the fuse that feeds it. On a lot of these trucks, Ford runs the telematics modem off its own dedicated fuse, and your owner's manual fuse chart lists the position for your exact year and model. Look for the one tied to the telematics or modem circuit. Now, I'll be straight with you. It isn't separate on every single model. On a few of them, that fuse is shared with the sync screen or the ignition circuit, so pulling it takes more than the modem with it. Check your specific fuse map before you yank anything. But where it is its own fuse, you pull that one and the modem goes dark. Drop it back in and everything's exactly as the factory left it. It is the cleanest way to prove to yourself that your radio, your backup camera, and your key fob remote start all keep working just fine without the cellular box awake. It leaves no trace and it commits you to nothing. For a lot of people, honestly, the fuse is the whole answer. They never go further than that. Number 3. If you want it gone for good, here's the actual job. On a 2019 Escape, the TCU sits under the trunk floor, right beneath the spare tire cover. Lift the carpet, lift the foam, it's sitting there. On the F-150 and the Super Duty, it's mounted to the rear wall of the cab behind the back seat. You fold the seat up, peel back the felt liner, and there it is. What you're looking for is that paperback-sized module with 3 plugs going into it, 2 thinner antenna cables, those are the cellular and GPS leads, the little snap-on connectors, and 1 fatter connector carrying power and data. Do yourself a favor and disconnect the negative battery terminal before you start pulling plugs on any modern vehicle. It costs you 5 minutes and it keeps you from waking up a fault you didn't mean to. A plastic trim tool so you don't crack the panels, a flashlight, and a socket for the 1 or 2 bolts holding the bracket, and you're most of the way there. There's a walkthrough that's lived on an owner's forum since 2021, written by a Ford man who just plain did not want his vehicle reporting his location and his odometer back to headquarters. He lays out the whole thing. Find the module, unplug all 3 connectors, and then, in his own dry words, step 3, optional, discard the telematics module, preferably into your Ford dealer's parking lot. That's the job. No gateway, no laptop, no code. 3 plugs and a little nerve. Number 2. Here's the honest cost, and I'm not going to soften it, but there's a piece of good news buried in here the dealer will never volunteer. Start with the worry most people have first, the automatic crash call, the thing that dials for help if you're in a bad wreck and can't do it yourself. On a Ford, that feature is called 911 Assist. And here's the part that matters. On the vast majority of Fords, 911 Assist does not run through this cellular box at all. It works through your own paired phone over Bluetooth, and it actually ships switched off from the factory until you turn it on yourself. So unlike some rivals, where the crash call lives and dies with that modem, on a Ford you can pull the box and keep 911 Assist as long as your phone's connected the way it always was. That changes the whole trade, because what you're really giving up here is convenience, not safety. You lose the FordPass app, no starting the truck from your kitchen, no remote lock and unlock, no checking your fuel or your tire pressure from your phone. You lose the stolen vehicle locator, and you lose over-the-air updates, which just means your software gets updated at a dealer instead of overnight in your driveway. That's a real list, and for some people, the app convenience is worth keeping the box. Fair enough. But understand what still works, because the factory blurs this on purpose. Your key fob remote start still works. That's radio frequency straight from the fob. It never needed the cellular modem. Your radio works. Your backup camera, your parking sensors, your lane keep, all of it works. Those live inside the car. The only things you give up are the ones that depended on the truck phoning out. So the real question is narrow. Is starting your truck from an app worth a permanent, always-on record of everywhere you drive? That's yours to answer. It is not the dealer's. Number 1. Ford will not help you shut it off, and the reason is written into a patent with Ford's name on it. Across the board, owners hit the same wall. They call Ford, they ask in plain English how to permanently disable the telematics modem, and they get sent to the dealer, and the dealer sends them nowhere. Not can't, won't. And if you want to understand why that door stays shut, read the patent application Ford put on the record, filed in 2021, published in 2023, in Ford's own name, for systems and methods to repossess a vehicle. It describes technology that could remotely disable features on a car whose payments fell behind, starting small with the cruise control and the power seats, then escalating to the air conditioning, the radio, the automatic door locks, could lock an owner out, could play an incessant, unpleasant noise inside the cabin until they dealt with it, and in the version that made every headline, on a self-driving capable car, could even drive itself off to a spot convenient for the repo man. Now, Ford was quick to say it had no plans to build any of it, and it later let that application go abandoned. And that's fair. Filing a patent is not the same as shipping one. But you do not file a patent for a thing you're building against your own interest. You file it because the always connected car makes it possible, and somebody in the building thought it was worth owning the idea. That is the tell. The box that watches where you go is the same box that makes remote control of your own truck a patentable idea. A feature that only ever served you is one they'd gladly show you how to switch off. This one, they won't. That answer, the silence, is the most honest thing they'll ever tell you. Step back from the fuse chart and the trim panels, and here's the whole of it. For 100 years, when you bought a Ford, you owned it. It sat in your driveway, and it answered to you, and where you drove it was nobody's business. FordPass Connect quietly changed that. The truck still runs like a truck, but now it also works as a reporter, logging your trips, keeping a cellular line open to a company whose interests are not the same as yours. Sitting on hardware the manufacturer has already patented ways to use against you if it ever suited them. The owners pulling this box aren't paranoid, and they aren't winning some prize. They lose crash notification. They lose the app. They spend a Saturday under the trunk liner with a flashlight. But they've decided the same thing a lot of quiet people are deciding lately, that a machine parked in their own driveway ought to answer to them and only them. I'm Hank. About 40 years turning wrenches, the last stretch of it on a dealer floor, and I'll tell you, on that floor, the FordPass box was the one thing nobody was ever coached to bring up. No manufacturer pays me, no dealer, no insurance company, and not one of them is glad I just walked you through that. So tell me down in the comments, are you pulling the fuse, pulling the whole module, or leaving it be for the app? And name your year and your model when you do, because the next owner reading is going to want to know whether yours is one of the easy ones. And next time, I'm doing Toyota, the one where you can't just yank the box because they ran your speaker and your microphone straight through it, and the $20 part owners built to beat that. Stick around for yours. Watch out for each other.